Got another guest here. Right on cue, bud. Come on in here. Come on in here. Oh, that must be Kiowa, man.
Must be Kiowa from Oklahoma.
Stephen Smith is here, and yes, he is Kiowa from Oklahoma. And every time I see you, you got a new ribbon on. So, what?
Well, actually, this year I became a lifetime member. This is the 70th.
Go ahead.
This is the 70th anniversary of the National Congress of American Indians, and I've only been a board member for 1 year. And at our board meeting on Saturday, we were challenged by Lance Gumbs of the Northeast region, and he says, you know, as board members, we should all show that personal commitment to the organization, and we should all have that silver lifetime badge. So, as Southern Plains area VP, I decided to become an NCAI lifer.
Lifer. That's good. That's
well,
good.
My grandma Juanita, you know, everybody at NCAI, if you ever been to NCAI.
Get a little closer so we can see that Kiowa smile right there.
If you've ever been to NCAI, everybody knows Juanita Dogamaw, Kiowa tribal member. Her father was at the very first National Congress of American Indians, James Dogamaw. And so there is, Kiowas have been a part of this organization for 70 years, and Juanita is a lifetime member, and she's been my mentor, and I feel very proud to follow in her footsteps.
Okay, all right, carrying on the tradition, the tribal tradition.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And so you're the southern region, or what?
Yes, the regions of NCI correlate to the BIA regions.
Okay.
So we have Northwest, California, Southwest, Rocky Mountains, Great Plains, Southern Plains, Southeast, Northeast, and Midwest.
Okay.
And Alaska.
Right.
Not to forget Alaska, because
Exactly.
they are very active and a very vibrant component of the National Congress.
Okay, so you're the Southern Plains area vice president.
Yes, each area has a VP, and our region, Southern Plains, consists of Western Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. Oh, I forgot one region, Eastern Oklahoma. I believe Oklahoma is the only state that has two regions within one state.
Okay, I thought that was the case, and so it's the National Congress.
Yes.
A lot of people forget that, and it really does. It acts like a Congress where there's representation. And so, what are your, I guess, responsibilities to your region? What does the vice president do?
Well,
Because you're almost kind of like a U.S. representative in the Congress. I mean, not really, but you have to carry that message of your people, their needs, and that sort of thing, right?
yes, and each region has its own unique problems or initiatives that are going on at any time. But the Congress itself is national. So when we get here, we're always trying to the different regions. If they're working on the same problem over here as over here, that we can come together and work on it together. Take the good practices from one region and lessons, maybe hard lessons learned in one region, and pass that on so that we can always face any issue facing any country with a united front.
Okay, and so when you're working, what makes it different is that as far as the United States Congress, really here it's about resolutions and about getting support. It's not about bringing home the bacon, so to speak, right? Or the what do they call it, the pork?
Oh yeah. We don't have the fund. We're not spending money to have control of discretionary funding the way Congress does. We don't hold the pocketbook, but yet we do fight for what our treaty rights, the trust responsibility of the United States government, and treaty rights, that does correlate to money, at some point or another, for our programs, for our elders, for our children, education, language preservation. That all costs money. And as you know, in Washington, we do have enemies of Indian country
Right.
that don't want Indians to have something, and then in other instances, they might not really be enemies of Indian country. They just want the money to go
For
somewhere
themselves
else.
or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
And so we present the United Front here at National Congress, where to uphold the treaty rights. That's the number one.
Okay.
And then there's also the theme of this year is tribal governance for the next generation.
Right.
So all these tribal leaders are.
Go ahead.
Every year we have our youth congress, and bring in outstanding youth from all over Indian country, trying to educate them in the democratic process, parliamentary process. They run their own Congress. They're all great kids, and we're trying to instill that desire and commitment to them at an early age so that they'll be able to be the next leaders of Indian country.
Okay, let me shift gears here, Steve. And as far as the Kiowa Nation, they're known for their Black Legging Society.
Tonkonga.
Yeah, and that's a tradition that's been carried on. A lot of times you'll see them at traditional dances. And can you tell our viewers a little bit about that? I don't know if that's part of your family tradition, but can you tell us about and not necessarily the inner doings, but just what they represent for the Kiowa people?
Well, in historical times, we had warrior societies, and Kiowa tribe, we had more than one society. The Tonkonga, or as most people in America may know them, referred to as Black Legging Society. And their symbols that they wear, whenever you see our Tonkonga color guard, goes all over the country, or if you go to their ceremonial in Anadarko every October, you'll see they wear red capes. And the red cape is a war trophy that one time we were battling the Mexican cavalry, and one of our warriors took that cape that the cavalry officers wore as a war trophy, and they wear that. The name Blacklegs comes from, there was a battle, and I forget which is, we're fighting other Indians.
Probably those Comanches.
It might have been Sacrifice.
No, it might have been. Yeah, probably.
No,
you guys still wouldn't be here.
But we were in this battle, and we were outnumbered. We were a small number, and these warriors we were fighting from the other side, they tried to burn us out. They lit the prairie on fire, and so those warriors had to endure that. And when they got out of there, the soot from the grass made their legs black. And so that's the symbolism and where the name of the society comes from that battle. That when they came out of it, their legs were black. But all tribes, I think nowadays, and here at the National Congress, we know all throughout Indian country, we honor our veterans and hold our veterans up. And I've been proud here to see Tonkonga has been the color guard last year in Tulsa, and this year we're in the southeast in Atlanta. We had the Seminole color guard.
Oh, really? Okay.
From here. So wherever you go in Indian country, they're going to have their veterans organizations, and just as we honor our youth and our elders, we know that veterans are always held in high regard throughout Indian country.
Right, and that leads me to gourd dance, and there's a story as far as the gourd dance too.
Gourd dance is a Kiowa dance. There may be other tribes that claim some, but the story is that there was a warrior, and he heard this singing one night, beautiful singing, beautiful song. And,
Must have been a second fox.
And I believe he had been separated. I hope I get the story right. He had been separated from his group, and he was all alone out there on the prairie. But he heard this beautiful singing, and he went over the hill and looked, and it was a wolf, a red wolf. And as that wolf was singing that song, and he sent the message for how to dress with the beads, the mescal beads, and you'll see a blanket. In the old days, the blanket was maybe just one color, red. All Plains Indians wore those blankets and used to wear it kind of diagonally. Nowadays, I don't know if that's kind of a influence from Native American church. You'll see most blankets are red on one side, blue on the other side. The way I was taught is you wear the red over your heart, so red goes on your left side and blue on the right side. But you'll see dancers with all red. Sometimes they have it tied around in the old-fashioned style. The dance says Daimpe was also a warrior society in the Kiowa tribe. They were like the MPs of whenever we gathered for Sundance. Daimpe's responsibility was to keep order in the camp, and that was their responsibility. They were made up of warriors. So that dance was kind of dormant for a while early in the 20th century, and then some Kiowas, we brought it back. And for us, it's a ceremonial dance. We dance it all year long, but 4th of July is the main time. But it's become a popular dance, and I certainly have no problem as long as it's done with respect in the right way. You'll find gore dancing from West Coast to East Coast, all around.
Southwest, it's real big out in the Southwest.
And what we always appreciate, like most dances, is as Kiowas, we don't like to see it when somebody's out there with a ball cap, and maybe just a polo shirt and just throw some beads on, wearing tennis shoes. We believe that when you dance this dance, and not that you all have to wear leggings, and all traditional, but wear some nice slacks, wear a nice shirt, and look good and look proud when you're dancing, and don't disrespect those warriors where it came from.
Okay. All right. Hey, Steve, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, and good luck with you're serving one more year.
One more year here at NCAI. They'll have as Southern Plains VP, and I learn every conference. I've grown and learned from these great leaders here this year, and even when I'm not VP, as you see, I'm NCAI for life.
Lifer.
So, a lifer.
They got
so,
you.
I want to wish you luck with this Native America
Native
Media Network. It's something that's greatly needed in Indian country, and you've always been a great host throughout the years on the radio, and now we get to see your face.
I know, my fry bread face. It's all greasy.
All right, guys.
All right,
Take care.
Steve. All right, and